With that, let's welcome in our panelists. Tim Descher is the executive director at Unleash Prosperity. Peter Earle's here with the American Institute for Economic Research. Gentlemen, welcome. Tim, start us off. What do you make of this EU trade deal?
Well, I think it's the biggest trading relationship that we have. So this one, a lot was hanging on it. And I think that at this point, you can go back and forth on the tariff number, 15% tariff. We're going to have that to deal with where we didn't before. However, I love the idea of the EU opening up their markets to areas where they were closed before. We're going to have a lot more energy going over there, like you saw. We're going to have a lot more of our industrial machines and equipment going over there as well. And that is a potential boon to this economy, considering it was closed before. And so this is the kind of stuff that you're seeing with the art of the deal. You got to trade something for another thing. But again, as a pro-growth economics person like I would be, I see a lot of potential in this. And again, we'll see how the higher tariffs go. But at this point, that's a pretty good trade-off, in my opinion.
Yeah, Peter, I mean, just about every economist, even who we've spoken with, we've seen on the cable news shows, they heard tariffs, there was panic, and it was bad, it was negative. And now we're seeing this be used as tariffs being used as a tool to make trade deals, to close trade deals. You have folks like Bill Maher walking his statements back, saying, maybe I was actually wrong about this whole thing because look what is getting done. Are you on that same ship, so to speak?
Well, I was very concerned about the tariff levels that were pushed out there on Liberation Day. When you see numbers like 50, 60%, there's a lot of reason for concern. What I'm happy about is that we're now getting some closure on this. I'm not a big fan of tariffs, but I am a big fan of certainty. So having those numbers nailed down, and certainly some of the other things are positive, having those numbers now nailed down are going to let both consumers and businesses plan better. And that's the key to higher and higher GDP and growth and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, even the idea of a rebate check for Americans based on the tariff revenue. I mean, that's what we're talking about potentially here. Again, there's a lot of debt that this country owes. Perhaps it would be better spent there, but I can understand how folks would say, give me the money. All right, Tim and Peter, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate your time today.